Okay.
Exactly. Now it's got to be Sam now.
All right. Well, hi everybody. I'm Samantha. I play Agnes the Armbreaker. She's a half-elf barbarian.
Hey everybody, I'm Jen from pixelscapes.com, and I play Deneen, a wood elf rogue cleric.
Good evening. I'm Gene. I play Eritim Haircath. She is a tiefling paladin of the Beggar King.
Hello, my name is Ellie. I'm with BeholdHer Gaming, and I am playing Haley Fallandane, a cleric of why did I forget the name of my god? Gwynfell.
The voice from above. I'm a goddess of knowledge. You should know this.
You should know this.
All right. When last we met, Haley caught up with us just in time as we were attacking a gigantic ooze monster and ooze worshipping cultists. They were throwing in human sacrifices. One of the weird ooze puppets looked like the monarch. I don't know what's going on there. Deneen threw in jugs of oil to start the festivities. Kenna fireballed, and then Kath utterly destroyed the ooze with a mega smite. Vance, our apprentice adventurer, helped with magic missiles. We dug out some choice loot before Deneen torched the remainder of the ooze with barrels and barrels of oil. Kenna plans to use her jewelry skills to turn the gems we found into fancy jewelry. Later that night, you see, Kath has been suspicious of Haley for a while. So she snuck into Haley's room and sat on her and cast Stone of Truth. She quizzed Haley about Gwynfell and Haley's own intentions. Will Kath really relax around Haley now? Maybe we'll find out tonight.
I did give her very nice armor that would make her harder to kill.
I haven't even statted
That's
that
true.
Up, so
That's
I'll
true.
Offline.
You need to have a talk show or something.
She was debating on
What?
what.
Oh.
Well, he's the least important part of the show.
Nobody can hear Dave. Oh well, let's move on.
We don't really need him. We were just talking about this.
No one needs to hear Glob.
Yeah, Dave is cheating on us next week.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Somebody scooped you. Oh, you can announce all kinds of stuff then, Dave. They won't hear you. Yeah, we know you guys can't hear Dave. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Sorry.
Lots of
You're not even there? Mm.
Yep.
We do hear you. What we... Tragic for the audience.
That would be very strange. We
Dave
could just
is...
play a game without the DM's voice. That would be kind of interesting.
Dave is attempting to fix it, folks.
What did you say, Glob? What was that? Okay.
His mic is plugged in.
Yeah,
we all hear him,
fine.
but you guys don't. There he goes.
Girls run the world.
So somebody just said you sound really low and then fade away.
Sounds like a Carly Simon song.
Fading Away, the Dave story on Lifetime Network.
See, it just comes out of you, Jen. You should totally have a talk show.
He's a guy. He would never be on Lifetime.
No, unless it was to get murdered.
That's true.
Don't get
What are the comments? Did he try unplugging his vocal cords and then plugging them back in again? What the heck, man? Do we need to restart the stream? It's the monarch taking his revenge because we killed his ooze doppelganger. Oozelganger.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah, we hear you in Zoom.
Mhm.
So is OBS like not going to the right mic or something? I'll just have to run the game, Dave.
Man, she's gonna TPK us.
Tonight inside the squared circle.
Hey, Jenny Gagney.
Yes, dear.
Do you remember, since we're waiting, Megan, like all of those gems that we got last time, Megan has a jewel crafting skill that does something to the value to
That's right.
Do you remember by
Correct.
what percentage?
15%.
Okay.
I remember all things.
She's a DM. It's built into her.
So I'm
I
updating
forget lots of stuff. But
our
Not
loot
the big
spreadsheet.
stuff, though. Not the important things.
I should have picked a higher percentage and seen if Dade noticed. It would have been 35.4%.
That would be 35%. Oh, that's worse. I think he just kicked off. Oh, no. You are not synced up to the video, though. I have noticed that. Reboot it. Start the stream over.
Well, he did say he wanted to start with a time skip, and apparently it's happening right now.
Yeah, it is.
Well, while he works on it, let's talk about the stuff we wanted to do. Oh, wait, no. Maybe we shouldn't. If you think you're going to have to restart the stream, though, we probably shouldn't. I'll just think about what I want to do.
I did not add my adamantine armor into my equipment because it doesn't exist. I'll have to custom it, I think. Unless there's nothing different about it other than it's like super shiny and it's exactly the same as half plate. It just looks cool. Fuck yeah. I'll add that. Okay, I can update it.
You're going to need that when we do our deathmatch PvP.
I will just die. It's fine.
Arena fight.
My character will just die.
Someone in chat is suggesting we do a fan Q&A while Dave works on this.
I think my mic is back. Bam. I found another place where I could turn it off and turn it back on again. So we'll see. Let's see, chat. Do you guys hear me now? I'm yeah, because before and I'm also coming in really hot on the mic.
We hear you. Does the audience hear you? They say there it is.
Whoop, there it is. All right, nice.
Victory!
Yeah, that was a riveting. That was a riveting 10 minutes of content right there. So we are doing a little bit of a time skip from where we left off. You guys had basically gone your separate ways after defeating the Monarch Ooze monster. Okay, I'm coming in really loud with background noise. Let's try that. Let me know if that helps you guys out at all. And, you know, guys went your separate ways. Let's see. Hallie had a little bit of a visitor.
A little bit.
one night
Shit.
during that, and so, but after you guys kind of resolved all of that, you went and I imagine you went to Jarissa. He's usually your go-to person when it comes to figuring out what your items did. And so for the last 6 weeks, you guys, if there was anything you wanted to do, you could.
Agnetha's been taking a really long bath.
Well, in Agnetha's case, what's she been doing for a while now?
She has been sword fighting. She's been keeping the city safe, kind of being more of a quiet figure in the city, but also protecting.
What?
Are you feeling okay? Agatha?
Yeah.
Quiet figure? Oh my
Yeah.
god. She's
She's on-
replaced, guys.
Well, her
She's an
spirit
ooze
is
puppet.
Didn't get her.
Guys. She can only be unrepressed when she's around her sisters, so she's brilliant. But then otherwise, she's like this silent warrior goddess type figure.
I see.
Yeah.
Definitely an ooze puppet.
Ooze
Cast
puppet?
sticker, cast spells on her. See if she's who she is.
So what has Kath been up to for the past few weeks?
Well, Deneen kind of put an idea in her head. So, along with making the rounds and terrifying her favorite people to terrify, like Sparks, and she'll visit with Sheena because Sheena needs some company. She thinks she's gonna try and get Sheena to let her take her out. But she's also going to start trying to feel out whether there's any chemistry between Haley and our intern guy.
Hmm.
So she'll come to visit Vance, and she won't be quite as mean to him as she usually is, and she'll be like, "So, Haley's been here for a few weeks now, and I don't know that anyone's really taken her out. And sometimes we're a little bit super boisterous, and I don't know if we're quite her speed. She might enjoy a quieter evening. Maybe, do you know anyone who could show her a quieter, more intimate evening, Vance?" And, other such very subtle and classy behaviors.
Super subtle.
Yeah.
Very classic.
Because Kath is like that.
How's our bathhouse going?
Oh yeah, you could go to get your reports from Vance. He's been.
So, can I Agnetha can just kind of head to the bathhouse or something? Will they meet up with you guys? That were close to by there.
The
So you said it's 6 weeks, right, Dave?
yeah 6 weeks.
Okay.
You got a week by week you want to do?
No. She's gonna at least try to make her family a little happier by actually bothering to spend significant amounts of time with them. Deneen is still haunted by the "Mommy, you always leave me" line from before. So the fact that she doesn't have to leave is pretty good. So she'll just stay and hang out.
And the worst part about that was said by the monster.
I know, but still.
What does Hallie want to do with that time?
Oh, Haley is always trying to uncover the corruption within this church that she's staying in, because she thinks that there's corruption at every church of Quintel that she comes across, and this is, no different. So she's still going about her routines of trying to uncover the uncoverable, while in the interim researching, trying to find any relics or artifacts of Quintel that may have been lost to kind of go on a quest to uncover.
So what have you been doing to root out corruption in the church specifically?
I don't know. Whatever you would do. the whatevers of that.
But the question is, how does Hallie go about it?
Figured it out with her other other church, so it would just be about listening in. If there's like anything that seems clandestine or even private, I suppose she would probably try to, find out anything that she can, like talk to maybe patrons of the church and just sort of going about town. Anything, any bit scrap of garbage that she can hold on to and uncover.
Give me an investigation check with the advantage because you've been at it for a while.
Okay. Crap stats on that though. With advantage, okay. So I got a 9, 9 and a 2.
You feel like this church is rock solid, and you have not found anything. The churchgoers are all super enthusiastic when they get there. Everyone involved at the school seems to be on board and is all about knowledge and educating. And there's even been, a paladin of another deity that's been dropping by and has brought a bunch of orphans. They're kind of they were from Rylor. Recently an orphanage was started up in the town, and a lot of those kids come to the church to be educated because there's a school attached to it.
Okay. All right.
Let me know if you know any zealots. That'd be good. I got a friend there, Haley. I'm basically a city watch guard.
So I think at this point I either turn my gain all the way up or all the way down.
It sounds like it's getting better according to the people in chat.
All right, so we'll see. All right, so yeah, essentially, you've interviewed, you've poked around, and you just haven't really been able to find anything. Everything appears to be what it is.
Strange.
Doesn't seem likely.
It's a little too quiet.
Yeah. All right.
So, over that 6 weeks, Deneen and Ilian are, things have been going really well, and you can definitely tell the difference. And it's kind of a pattern. The more time you seem to be at home, the better things seem to be between you and your husband. Obviously, Fane is she's always happy, and she's got the innocence of a child, though. She's getting older, and it has been getting a little bit harder to maintain. And in some regards, it also seems like maybe she's a little less sheltered here, because in Rylor, I imagine you guys are very very probably protective of Fane, because
you can't just let your kid run around.
Yeah.
Although, considering what happened with that ooze snatching her, it wouldn't surprise me if they've been a little more careful about, like, I'll just walk with you when you go to the halfling compound. Or maybe I'll just use stealth and follow you without mentioning it. So, it was a very scary experience. We're a little nervous. That's my theory.
So, so the time's going by. What are you ladies are getting up to today? It's a fresh new start, new day.
2 quick brief additions to my list. One is that I go and I buy the components for reincarnate, and I give them to Haley, and I say, if I die, please reincarnate me.
Are you
What are you up to?
What are you up to?
No, well, just because there's somewhere in the universe, unlikely, but possibly an ooze monster that I can't kill. And in that scenario, if I die and you don't die, instead of using Revivify or some of those other stuff that put you back in the same body, if you could reincarnate me instead, that would be golden. Here's all the stuff. It's kind of expensive, so I wouldn't ask you to do that on my behalf, but you have it now. And yeah, thanks. Great.
Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great.
And then the other thing I do is I offer to babysit Fane a couple times.
Oh,
and
boy.
Larry and Deneen can go have like a couple times. Like, cause generally I
Date
don't
night.
like kids, but Fane is actually pretty tolerable. So if you need some alone time to like, reconnect with your husband and try and establish a better degree of intimacy between you.
I would
Maybe
be.
develop some, some better communication skills, stuff like that you could work on.
What about we have all kinds of skills.
Oh,
You don't
I'm
have
sure.
anything to worry about, Kat.
Right,
You know, this would be really great because the problem with having an elf kid is that they don't sleep, and it makes it kind of hard to find time for
Stuff.
romance.
Fancy to have
so-
like a loot at your
So
house.
yes, I would 100% take advantage of that opportunity. Still clueless that Kath is continuing to corrupt my child.
Oh yeah, and when they're gone, Kath is totally teaching her about fighting and
Excellent.
all kinds of stuff.
Wouldn't have it any other way. One addendum for Hallie. In that time, Vance does come to visit you occasionally.
Okay. That's fine. I guess. Does it seem like, what does he come and talk about? Church stuff? Like,
He comes and tries to basically talk about anything you're interested in. He's offered to show you around the town.
no, I'm okay. I'm trying to uncover relics. Thanks.
Uncover relics. I could help you with that. I'm really good at research.
If that is true, then I would definitely could use some assistance. Unless you're just trying to hornswoggle me. Is that what you're trying to do? Are you lying?
He
Lying? Can I find out if he's lying?
you know what? Make an insight check.
21.
21. He seems sincere in his offer to help, but you do believe he has ulterior motives.
Alright, well, if he's sincere in his help, then I give him some information of what really I'm trying to do is try to bring back some relics and tomes to Quinthel's church. As my church was burned to the ground and everything that we had has been lost. And I don't know what the temple has here. Do they have a pretty good vault of cool shit that Quinthel would like? Or have they even started that?
They are pretty new. The church was just
Okay.
built within the last probably like 2 years.
Okay.
Um,
Then let's bring some relics and stuff back to the church. Get it protected and guarded.
and if you kind of ask around, then you realize that that the head of the church, Relian, actually he kind of willed it or prayed it into existence over the course of a year.
I thought like the last time we were trying to hunt him down, I wasn't sure if I'd ever met his character or met that character yet.
Over the course of time, I'm sure you would have at this point. But in game, we have not done any encounters with his
kind of in
character.
passing, like yeah, or like
Well, you probably at some point you would have had to meet him anyway, just because he runs the church.
okay.
So yeah, so after you kind of get at what you're looking for and what you're trying to do, Vance, he does set about researching at the library in town, because it is one of the oldest buildings here, and it has the greatest repository of information and knowledge.
Okay.
Which you would kind of know that already anyway.
Right.
There's a good possibility if you were looking for stuff, you would have went over there. He's very familiar with the library, so if any trips you make there with him, it makes it a lot easier, because he's spent a lot of time in there and he kind of knows where things are.
At least I know he's not lying about actually researching that kind of stuff. So that's good.
No, but you do get the vibe that he's personally interested in you. We don't know where he would have got that idea, but
Right, that hasn't been uncovered yet.
Vance is an idiot, a savant. He's only good at romance.
He He does pretty good with the books.
Apparently books.
He
too.
does good with the books.
Research.
Now he considers himself an expert adventurer as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's right. Oh boy.
So yeah, so you've begun researching, and there are some leads, but nothing concrete yet.
Yeah, it takes a while, I'm sure. Some good stuff.
And also, Gryphongaffe is almost as far as you can get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to probably travel further to the interior of the continent and back towards actually where you originally came from, and possibly the larger kingdom that Gryphongaffe used to be a part of, but which is Drellic.
That's cool. I mean, I can update my journal, like in Skyrim, and just keep it in there, so I know for, later when we run out of side quests.
Now, what have you guys told Hallie about Deneen's father-in-law and what you guys are trying to do?
Well, we've had weeks now with us all around in the same place. And since it was research related and Vance and I did a bunch of research on it, it wouldn't surprise me if actually just Deneen would fill her in about it. And say like, I want to make sure we're all ready when we're going to go do this. But my father-in-law, don't mention this to people outside our group, but my father-in-law made some kind of deal with an archfey, like a blood pact maybe, and we think maybe sacrificing his firstborns. Ooh. And my husband is one of his firstborns because he's had this series of human wives. My father-in-law, I mean.
He's basically Zeus.
So my husband Alarian and my daughter may both be in danger because of this deal, so I want to break it. And we have some indications that maybe he has violated the term, that my father-in-law has violated the terms of this agreement. So what we're planning to do is go kidnap him and use him as collateral to make a deal with this archfey to try and free my family from potential consequences.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, he's a complete horrible person, tried to murder me. His wife also tried to murder me.
Okay.
Really tried to murder all of us. They ambush us periodically. So
was that part of the cult thing that I sort of missed?
Well, there are blood cultists here and there periodically, but this is a different kind of deal, I think. Vance and I were researching all this Archfey, Eladrin stuff. This is why we went to the Feywild a while back and ended up losing, I think, 18 or 20 months of time there.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. Which is really bad. They thought we were dead back here, and my family was devastated. It was really bad. So next time we go, we have
it's a good thing you have the
we have a
elven
way
blood
to
here.
avoid losing.
It's good that you have elven blood in you, so it didn't impact you as much the time.
Sure, but my husband's only a half elf.
Yeah, but okay.
But still,
Worry about yourself, though.
I worry more about them than about myself. That's kind of the whole point of this adventuring, as a matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned.
Your father-in-law is basically like Cronus. He's like eating his children.
Oh, no.
That's one way of describing it.
We don't know for sure. Whatever he's doing, we can safely assume it's horrible.
So, has Deneen come up with a plan for? I think apprehending is a better word than kidnap. It feels more legitimate.
Right.
Take into custody.
Forcibly taken into custody. Well, we were gonna stuff him in that gem that Agnetha got stuck in, but that didn't work out.
That was really weird. That was cool. That was like a multi-dimensional realm that I was stuck in for a minute with giant creatures coming at me.
Yeah.
Good times.
No, I don't really have a plan. I mean, my usual approach myself would be to, try to scout out where they live and maybe keep an eye on his patterns outside the house, since clearly his house is infested with like creepy fairy allies and those quick little things.
I hate those little quick things.
We know he can't leave his city, apparently, but he presumably
That's helpful.
leaves the house.
Well, they're here, aren't they?
Oh
They
God,
were
no!
No, they were in Ryler, but he left Ryler. Where's
Right,
and then, like,
they left Ryler and went to what's the name of the place?
Drellic.
Drellic. Yeah, that's where they are.
Are you guys all in
as long
Ryler
as
right
we-
now?
No, we're in
Yeah.
Gryphongaffe.
We're in Gryphongaffe.
Oh, okay.
So, if we just, follow the dotted lines to the Summer Star shipping lines, which is their major business, we would eventually locate them. I think.
So I can meet up with you guys and, basically have this conversation with you, and like Agatha would totally be in on helping you since it's been a while since we've reconnected, but I understand your past and I would love to help you. So let me know what I can do, because I can be stealthy or sneaky.
Well, we could say this is a group conversation if you guys want to.
Yeah. Let's just say I've already met up with you guys. Do you guys want to meet up at like the spa or something, the bathhouse, or do you guys?
That's always nice.
It's been a while. We need a bathhouse evening.
I call shenanigans, Agatha. I don't know that I've ever seen you be stealthy. I don't know that that's possible. I would like a demonstration.
All right. So I'm going to show you
All right.
my skills I've been working on the last few months. She's going to do a pirouette, double backflip swing, and then she's going to drop her sword like a clumsy oaf.
And that's gonna show stealth skills.
And then I'm going to be like, see, I told you I needed a bath. Let's go have a drink.
That fixes everything.
I'm ready to catch bad guys.
Right.
So it's been established while you weren't here that there's the rage room at the bathhouse. It's your personal room for you to bathe when you're full of rage.
Oh, that is awesome. Do I get extra ladies? Are they still there?
The bronze ladies are still there.
I'm gonna need that for rage's sake. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense.
Rage-related reasons.
Rage-related reasons. There you go. R&R.
Rage
So-
and relaxation.
A little R&R. Rage and relaxation. Yeah.
So I think it's probably safe to assume that the lot of you usually gather, once a week or something, ladies' night out, or just staying in touch. And also, at this point, since things have been really quiet, there haven't been no one's needed rescuing, nothing's need saving, nothing's need killing. Things have kind of settled and been kind of quiet at Gryphongaffe. It would give you ladies plenty of time to plan your next move.
Well, as far as Denine's concerned, that is the next move. But it really depends if everybody feels ready for it. Because once we get him, we're committed to going to the Feywild, unless you want me to go by myself.
No.
Go ahead. I was gonna say I've got some different spots set around the city in different places where I've been living and moving about, and I have like secret locations because of my endeavors. And so while we're out scouting, or if we get in trouble, we can always retreat to one of these places and not back to where our bathhouse is, or to any other place that we would want them to know about. So that's nice. We do have a stealthy sort of backup for hiding if we need.
BT Dubs, when you're not in your regular apartment, Kath breaks in and drinks your booze.
I noticed too. I'd be pissed.
Hang up one day, she smells like your whiskey. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Agatha.
Why is the gin gone? No.
Someone keeps breaking in. Nothing of value is taken, but your booze is drunk. There's like an empty beer can.
But sometimes there's some pipe weed left on your pillow.
It's
2 for 2 now that you've busted in there and taken her goodies.
So one of the things that Vance does produce for Deneen is kind of a list of some of it is charts, and it kind of just shows the Summer Star shipping lanes, kind of like the routes that they use and places that they go, as well as there's like a list of contacts of people that they deal with and their holdings in Drellic.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Vance.
No kidding.
You're so much better at this than me.
We were
Must
just
be
gonna go
nice to
storm
have
off
like a
into-
classic elf education.
Well, there's only so much that I need to do at the bathhouse, and I get bored. I'm pretty far along in my studies with Jarissa, and I'm at the library anyway. And I've made some correspondence with folks in Drellic, so.
We were hoping you were gonna get a girlfriend, but scouting maps and charting the stars is also pretty awesome. Right on, dude.
He kind of gives like a sheepish look at when you say you should get a girlfriend, and just kind of looks away.
Boyfriend? You want a boyfriend?
I'm just kind of young for settling down, as Miss Deneen keeps pointing out to me.
Who said anything about settling down, Vance?
Never said that. Just glad you met somebody. That's really cool. Interesting. We need to figure this out.
He quickly begins trying to change the subject, and but I've been able to correspond with some of the libraries over in Drellic, and I was able to ask some questions, and they were more than able to help me out in between my salary here at the bathhouse and the stuff I've been doing with Jarissa, and some extra work in the library because I don't really need to sleep that much. So I've been able to call in some favors and send them some information that they can't find and is a little rare. I mean, we got, and he kind of like points off in the direction of Fort Fangmore. We have that portal to the Dragon Realm, and then we've got these clockwork things running, or people running around. So it's kind of a really great place if you want to learn things and you're into academics. So I've been able to leverage some of that stuff into information.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Janine's looking through all these notes and charts and stuff. And not that she knows anything about shipping charts, but I'm sure these are useful.
Indeed.
I will show these to Kath because there's a picture of a boat in the corner here, so it's probably water related.
So you look at it, and there's their charts, their maps of their trade routes.
Yep, excellent. That's a map, all right.
That's a map.
Kath, I have a thing for you, Kath.
Are there trade routes through pretty expected paths, or do they take any like riskier but perhaps faster ways, or do they tend to keep towards really established routes? Is there anything sketchy about the way that they're going?
No, it does actually seem like it's pretty like routine. You see, like you can see where they kind of go out of their way to avoid places that are known for pirates and piracy, or places that might be known for having turbulent waters, or at one point there's actually a symbol for a looks like some kind of sea serpent or kraken.
What?
Huh.
You're muted.
You're muted, Gene.
Sorry, I was yelling at my cat a moment ago.
Yeah, because her cat is like taking over. It's awesome.
So
Got that Cthulian tentacle that keeps coming up over his
So we've got the shipping information, although I'm assuming since he can't leave the city, he's not going on his ships.
No,
We've also got this list of contacts and the people they deal with and their holdings.
Yeah,
Well,
so there's also like their businesses, warehouses, that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
there's also an address for where his manor is as well. Although you probably would have been able to find that out pretty easy after entering the city. There isn't a lot of wealthy individuals, so there's only so many
Yeah,
places.
and anybody that powerful, it wouldn't. You'd be able to find that out.
You know, Denise. We could pass this on to some pirates we know.
Well, they would probably find these charts quite interesting. I'm not sure. I have no objections to this since I've already sicked a dragon turtle on them. But I don't know how the shipping chart piece would really help us get him, other than annoying him, which is always positive.
we could always create a diversion.
So why does he have to stay in his city? I've never understood that bit.
I don't exactly know. When I was talking to Vance about it, I thought it had something to do with, like, because it's a deal with the Fae, and the Fae are associated with nature, being inside the city kind of insulates him from repercussions of whatever it is he's doing outside their deal. I think. I don't.
So it's not like a particular city that
A city, yeah.
it's just a city. Okay.
That's why I was worried when I was moving Alarian and Fane down here. But now that they're here, I think they're okay.
So, do you think that there's anything that would get him to come out of the city?
Do
I
we
mean,
get
short
him
of like
out
a
the city?
Rylith level event.
What happens to him if he does go out into the outskirts of?
We don't know.
So
I'm just trying to think. It might be easier. It might be easier to get a hold of him. Well, of course, it'd be easier to get a hold of him outside of his house. So I'm wondering, is there anything that would get him to come out, or do we need to focus our plans on getting in and then getting him out ourselves?
Well, he must leave his house. Like, I don't know that we necessarily need him to leave the city.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I could just, that's why what I was thinking earlier was if we could just get a sense of his routine, or maybe one of his contacts, or maybe he's going to, like, meet one of his contacts, or we get one of his contacts to summon him, or something along those lines, then we can nab him.
Okay.
We need
That's
Kenan
my
for
theory.
this.
What city is he
Well,
in?
that's my concern.
What's the city?
he's in
well-
Drellic.
According to this
What-
list
what
of
do we-
holdings.
What do I know about Drellic as anything?
So Drellic is kind of like your typical.
Oh my god, that's where my character's from. Turned down.
Well, I think he.
Wait a second, this sounds so familiar.
I don't remember if it was from there or right outside of there.
Would love to go back there where I'm being hunted by my church and the people that are left over.
I can disguise you.
They think that I burned the church down, so fuck it, let's go.
Did you?
Well,
Did you burn
no.
the church down?
No, Quinthel burnt the church down.
Okay. Just wondering.
Wait. So are these people? I mean, so they're not just hunting you because of a misunderstanding. I mean, are they actually like legit clerics?
Yes.
So why doesn't Quinthel be like, "Hey, BT Dubs, I did that."
I don't know. She saved me, burnt the church down, and I would imagine it probably has a lot to do with the nobility and the ties to the city. So there's people that got away. All she cared about was the church. Not really a murder everybody around me kind of a god.
Don't worry, Haley. I can change your hair color. I can change how you look. What color do you want your hair to be?
We need to go back to the town where my church burned down.
You might know some things about that place. That's good. We have an advantage there.
You could be our local guide.
Do you want us to go kidnap some of those people and then, like, hold them down and?
I don't know who survived from the church. I just know that the noble houses and whatever the church was getting involved in, there's political arrangements. There was some stuff going on that I was not privy to with money and power and all the good things that corrupt from the inside out.
I wonder.
Well, no wonder my in-laws moved there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't that be great if like your father-in-law had some kind of idea about this? Maybe we could.
Well, he was in Ryler then, but he did have business interests in Drellic back then. So for all we know, he may be related to whatever was going on.
Sure, but like even if he didn't have it then, he's there now, and if he's
True.
in touch with shady dealings that are going on now, he might have some information.
That's true.
So, from what Hallie knows and any information you'll be able to dig up, Drellic itself it's not like Rylor where it was completely corrupt. It's got normal city levels of corruption in it. The church was its own isolated thing, and I believe, Hallie, when you woke up after the church was burned, that's when you kind of awakened as a cleric. Is that accurate?
Correct.
So so Hallie's story is a little bit different in the sense that she did not become a and I don't you shared your story with the rest of them, right?
I think so.
Well, Hallie had if she's talked to them about it, the fact that she kind of
Never ascended through the church. She did the chores and the labor. She studied. She meditated.
Yeah.
Read.
You said that before.
yeah, where she kind of just, I'm an uber powerful cleric all of a sudden. So sometimes she makes mistakes.
Through some kind of a power.
So, with that, Hallie will be able to fill you in on kind of like, the local scene and where things are and be a guide fairly easy. And one of the reasons why, your father-in-law probably was set up in Ryler is because that place was so corrupt and it was so much easier for him to do underhanded dealings. As far as the Fae Pact, what you guys had discerned was, this particular Fae, this particular creature could not enter a walled city to go after him. For whatever reason, Fae have strange laws that they follow, and that can vary from Fae to Fae themselves. So this may be something that just pertains to this particular Fae.
So we could just go to the Fae and make a deal to destroy the walls of the city, and we don't have to deal with him at all. You're good at breaking walls.
I
Cat?
am wonderful at breaking walls.
I'm sure no one would notice us doing it either.
Peyton especially loves taking down walls.
I don't think it would really work, but
Oh, is that a challenge?
I'm sure you could break a city wall, but a wall that goes around a city is like a lot of wall, and there are probably people there that want to keep that wall.
That's a whole lot of acreage to keep track of.
Right, but it'd be kind of obvious if there's a big broken section of wall that keeps getting bigger in one direction or another. I mean, I'm not an educated elf, but that's my theory. So probably we should just get him. We should just get him. That'll work.
Do it.
Maybe murder my mother-in-law while we're at it. I mean, take her out of the equation.
So what is it you ladies would like to do then?
Well, Kenna's still making jewelry, but we could at least
we don't want to leave.
go start scouting, and then maybe she could catch up with us.
How far? Oh, it's pretty far from here.
About a month's travel.
Yeah.
I would probably know a lot of the really good routes due to the fact that I've been in like service with the city, and I'm dating like someone who knows a lot about the area too. So
Hey,
if I need information, I can get it.
Haley, if you happen to have any like mementos from there, do you think that Kenna could use that to teleport us?
Ooh, shit. Yeah, I've got everything from my church. Well, the only things from my church from there. So, my amulet, my everything, basically. That's all I took was everything from there.
It's pretty awesome.
So, yeah, we could definitely do that.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah, we could definitely, yes. Yes! I have everything I have is from there, so there should be no reason why we can't. Unless something's preventing us at some kind of a magical level.
The only thing about that then is we'd be teleporting back into your church, so we'd have to make sure that you're like disguisoed before we do
Well,
it.
it's burnt to the ground. I have no idea what happened to it since.
Okay.
It's been
How long ago was that?
it's been a good year.
So they might be rebuilding or whatever. And we teleported whatever's there now.
That's a possibility.
But
I'm sure it'll be fine.
as previously stated, I'm great at breaking through walls. So if we teleport on the wall, I'll bust us out.
It's up to Quinthal. They won't be rebuilding though. Not in her name.
Could we, like,
Send
Go
Vance
there.
first? Good idea.
could we go there and can Kenna make people teleport? Like, could we use that to kidnap him? Or do we have to agree to get teleported?
That is a very good question. But I believe if you're unconscious, you don't really get a choice in the matter.
Unconscious is always good.
So there is that. So, you know, you guys could, if you wanted to do some scouting, you could see if Kenna would send you, because she has teleporting, so you guys could go without her. She's got some things that she's attending to right now.
Yeah, like, leave her one of your, like, just little things that you don't need, Haley, and then she can use that to teleport after us when she's done.
Sure. Can leave her. Let's leave her a note, or well, if she's there, we can tell her what we're up to. She can have my. She can have this candle from there.
So yeah, it's up to you and 8 willing creatures, so you have no problem with getting him back. Oh, so it does say willing, but I would say if someone's unconscious, they can't be unwilling. At that point, you're an object.
Your baggage.
Interesting. In terms of game's mechanic, just to be clear. So,
Oh.
8 is the perfect number because there's 5 of us, then a rune, then wisdom, and then your dirtbag father-in-law.
Well, I can just dismiss wisdom and bring her back. She doesn't have to count as a teleportee.
And a rune too, if needed,
And
if you needed
she
to.
holds out her arm and says,
If I had
"Here
to.
she is." Then she's gone. Here she is. Then she's gone. It's easy.
Okay.
So is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm good for it. Yep.
All right, I'm disguising you,
Down.
Haley. Deneen has this very fancy makeup set with a beautiful comb, and she says, "What color do you want your hair to be? And what style do you want your hair in?"
Curly and red.
Curly red hair. And so Deneen starts combing your hair, and as the comb goes through your hair is like curly and red.
Yes. Opposed to black.
And she'll use the disguise kit to try and make the rest of you look a little different too.
How's she do, Dave?
Let's find out.
Probably really well.
Yes.
Is this a dexterity skill?
To physically do it, yeah, I think so.
Okay. $19.
Woo!
I think you look pretty different. You know, someone who actually knows you well might be able to figure it out, but
Pretty much the great thing about it is unless it was an elder or someone from the church, nobody really knew her.
yeah, but
Excellent.
most casual acquaintances, you could walk by them and they wouldn't give you a second glance.
Plus, it's been a year.
And
Just if you have like fancy churchy robes and stuff and holy symbols and stuff, maybe don't wear those.
Actually, she dresses pretty plain Jane, so
Perfect.
So you guys after some chanting from Kenna, you guys reappear in a burnout husk of a building.
yeah, it's still down. Ha!
The walls are half demolished. Like you can see outside. There's only a couple things. One, the altar itself actually never burned. and it's just weird. There's like a ring around it, and the fire just never touched it. And you know, above the altar, in that wall, which is, you know, it's probably the most intact of all the walls, there is a stained glass window with the symbol of Quinthel in it as well, and is perfectly intact. And as you appear, the sun is like shining through that, and you know, casting it on the ground before you.
I'm going to use my divine sense to see if this place is consecrated or desecrated or anything like that.
The altar gives off the sense of that has been consecrated.
Oh, okay.
But that's it.
Right, and no fiends or anything else lurking around?
None that you can see.
All right.
Just
I
me,
think-
maybe.
I think we're good.
Just me.
Yeah. Kath lights up when she looks at herself.
Yeah.
Ah.
Just the sliver. Sliver.
Go check out the altar just to see. Just to make. I mean, I don't know if there's anything, you know, around it or in it, or just to make sure she didn't leave anything behind that didn't want to be left behind.
So you search the altar, and behind it there's a little cubby that's actually kind of built into it, where there's the normal vestments and in the
Like, take them all.
and a basin.
Whatever is logical. Like, not if there's like a giant urn or something. I'm not taking that, but anything that would be like candles and anything like that, because obviously it stayed intact for a reason.
Yeah, so there are some candles, and there is it's decent size, like you know, it's the size of kind of almost like a punch bowl, but it's a basin that would be used to consecrate and bless water, to make holy water.
Okay.
And there is also the typical vestments that one of the priests or priestesses of Quinthel would wear during ceremonies.
Take ceremonial garb. That didn't get burned or anything else.
So you've got that, and pretty much you can kind of actually see the neighborhood around you from inside the building, because there's like huge holes in the ceilings and the wall. And
Does it look different from the year that I've been there? Does everything look pretty much the same?
the actual area outside the church looks a little bit. It looks kind of spruced up a little bit, is how I would describe it. As if they repaired parts of the neighborhood,
But they couldn't repair the
But they-
church because
but they didn't repair the church. The church wasn't rebuilt.
Shit.
It's cursed.
That is the best ever.
Hey, Dave, I have a question for you.
I may have an answer for you.
So while I have Haley disguised, is Deneen disguised? Or can I only use it on one person at a time?
I believe it was one person at a time.
Okay, then Deneen is back. This actually might work well. Deneen is back to her, like, coppery, wavy hair and green skin.
Ooh.
So, on the upside, maybe my in-laws won't recognize me. Hey. So maybe that's good.
They don't recognize you in your true form?
No,
Bunch of monsters.
this is too distinctive. I try not to go around like this.
Can't be too hot.
That being said, I believe the party's only seen her like that a handful of times.
I probably
Yeah,
haven't
like in the
ever-
bath and stuff.
okay.
Agnetha's mouth like gapes open. She's like,
Really, Agnetha?
sorry. Hi, Jen.
I'll post
Mean, mean.
token pictures on Twitter later, guys.
All right.
At Pixel Scapes.
There you go.
Yeah. You need to do one of your character in her true form. That'd be cool.
I have both.
So yeah, so like I said, looking around the neighborhood, it actually, Haley, to your recollection, it actually looks like it's doing better than it was before. Almost if the church itself was a rot or blight on the neighborhood.
Sure. Nope.
Interesting. People weren't as religious as you thought.
It's the way it goes sometimes.
They sure as hell can't do anything about where the church was, so it's just gonna stay here looking like this.
So what is the plan now?
Well, go ahead, Denise.
You're smarter, Kath. You plan.
I am smarter.
and modest.
I'm smart enough to know that, and that's plenty smart.
I am smarter.
Good for you.
Point.
For some, it is to know things, and it is for others to believe them.
Oh, snap.
I knew you'd like that, Sam. So maybe
I'm gonna follow you.
So maybe Haley, you could direct us where would be a good place to stay that's kind of like out of the way, but we won't necessarily get robbed. And
Sure.
set up base, and then we maybe figure out where your father-in-law's business is, where he lives, get a general sense of the area.
Where do I give him for an inn or a place to kind of squat where we can be out of the way but not out of the way?
You could there's plenty of taverns, inns that you could stay at.
Say a tavern is perfect for that.
So
No one knows me. I'm great at being drunk. I can get away with things. Kath,
it's like
you gotta come with me.
It's like a superpower.
They're
It's like a superpower.
that I know of, or
Kath is like the only one that can like even closely drink with me.
You can I can give you one, or you can tell me your choice.
how about the Spyglass Inn?
Perfect.
Ooh.
Right off the wharf.
It's right off the wharf. I can get us there, and we'll take some back ways so we won't get noticed.
So at the Spyglass Inn, you've been there before, and it's more of a common place. And that's probably one of the reasons why you picked it. So you can kind of blend in, especially if you dress down a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are trying to bring attention to ourselves, so we'll get a room. We can set up here for, well, I imagine we're going to be here for a while for our plans, so I go to the nearest, I guess, innkeeper / barkeep and ask what their rates are for, let's say, a month.
So you recognize the dwarven woman behind the bar, Glavis. She doesn't actually recognize you though.
Okay, good.
And it's whatever PHB prices are for the tavern.
Okay.
So last, how long are you looking to stay? How long do you need a room for, and for how many?
I need a room for me and my friends. Actually, there'll be another joining us soon. But we'd like to at least be put up for an extended for a month. To just if that's available.
Absolutely. So are you visiting our fair Drellic for pleasure or business?
I'm looking for. I was actually trying to figure out what happened to the church here.
Oh, which church?
The one that used to exist off of wherever she says the name of the local of the area.
Off of insert street name here.
Off of insert street name. On the corner of insert street name.
The red light district.
The haunted church?
Yeah. What happened with that? So
Haunted.
basically I'm just an investigator. I've been looking at just researching history of areas. And I've
We can
started
get
with-
drunk and go hunting for ghosts.
I've started
I'm
with
so
the
excited.
I've started with the Church of Quinthel as my history for my book. Churches in You.
Oh, you're writing a book, Lassie? That's so
The
exciting.
church is in you. That's awesome.
Were
Now
you?
it's haunted?
Have you been to the church before it burned down?
No, I didn't. So I'm surprised to know that it had burned down. But now that it's haunted, that gives me even more information. If you're willing to share, I'd be happy to write you up in my book.
Oh, that would be great, sweetie. I've never been written up in anyone's book before. Make sure you spell my name right. Glavius, Glavis, and that's Brewhammer, BrewHammer.
Well, thank you. Okay.
Brewhammer.
It's only two M's, not three, sweetie.
Not 3 M's. Okay, got it. Flavius Brewhammer. So,
Yeah, that place burnt down. It caught fire. They don't actually know what happened. Like, it was there one day and then it was on fire the next, and they tried rebuilding it. And numerous attempts. They sent workmen in there. Their stuff would disappear. Their tools would get broken. Some of them even said they saw a ghost. It's
that's gonna be great for my story. This is even better than I thought.
Eventually the elders to the church, they just gave up, and they built a new church on the other side of town.
To Quinthel.
Yes. It would be
So-
mighty odd if they built it to someone else.
Are those church elders the same ones that were in charge of the church before?
I think so. All those church folks they look alike to me.
Well, maybe they would know a little more about the church for your research in the book.
That is a good idea. I'm sure they would.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do 2 months then, just to be on the safe side, because this looks like we're gonna be spending more time here than I thought.
Speaking of a long trip, Dave, before leaving town, Deneen would not tell her husband that, oh yeah, this is the time we're going to go kidnap your father.
He doesn't
She
know
just
us.
says, I think this is going to be a longer trip. That's what she's sticking with.
Okay.
Especially since we know the father-in-law knows where I live and could have spies everywhere. We don't know. So,
Are we gonna
Yeah.
capture him or kill him?
and she says, and she's had conversations with him previously that whenever we do get around to that she's hoping their trip to the Feywild, they have something that will stop it from taking as long as last time. So she's had that conversation previously, so she's not having that conversation again now. Just by the way, and we're hopefully just kidnapping him.
Okay.
Unless you want to kill him and resurrect him when we get there.
I was gonna say, way to ruin all my fun.
He probably wouldn't want to come back,
Resurrection.
knowing where we're taking him.
Oh,
Okay.
and also there was one thing. Hallie, you can decide what you tell Kath or don't tell her, but as a cleric, you don't have the ability to reincarnate people.
I know that. I'm not telling her that. Maybe I'll find a scroll later. I'll ask Quinthel for some help. I'll do some praying. Oh,
Perfect.
No. No, I know that.
I
Maybe
love
that went
it.
through my spell list.
That's not good.
So I'll figure it out. I might get lucky. I might roll another 5.
We haven't
Divine
had,
intervention.
we haven't had good luck trying to find druids in the past. So you may be up a creek there, Kath.
Roll.
Super rare. They're super rare.
Fine. Knees.
They're like shiny Pokemon.
You need to find the one that reincarnated you to start with.
Don't talk to me. Oh my god.
So
She doesn't want to tell her yet because she doesn't want to disappoint her because she just started trusting her. and they're friends now, and
then you immediately
And of course, Deneen knows so much about clerics. She's just like, oh yeah, sure, reincarnate, absolutely. Because what does she know? She's a level 1 cleric that barely knows a thing. So yeah,
that sounds right.
barely knows a thing. Deneen, yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you mean it sounds right about reincarnate? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. My boss and I were talking about that just the other day.
This is supposed to be legit.
So Glavis, she kind of leans one brawny arm on the bar, and looks the lot of you over. So can I get you ladies something to drink?
Yes.
Yes. We both say yes at the same time, very loudly. Yes.
I've got something special for you, and she points to Kath. And she's like, wait right here. And she kind of ducks down beneath the bar, and you hear the clanking of glasses and bottles.
While she's doing that, Agnetha, you see the muscles on her? You should arm wrestle her for that drink.
She does have some meaty arms. And then she comes up with this mug, and it's got black ice cubes bobbing up and down inside of it. It looks like ice cubes, and with closer inspection, they're actually a bit more porous than that, and they're on fire. And there's like blue flames coming from them, and the drink is like kind of steaming a little bit. And she slides it to you. Says, "I think you're gonna like this."
So it's like charcoal briquette.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kath casts thaumaturgy
Uh-huh.
to like make it even more kind of like amazing, and then she downs it and belches the flame.
Ah,
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I want one. Like Pippin does. I'm getting one.
So the flame belch. You're not sure how much of that was thaumaturgy or how much of that was the drink itself.
Yeah.
I don't give that to
Still satisfying.
I don't give that to all of our clients. Just the special ones that can handle it. You have the
Agnetha's sitting there just like, what's up with this place? I feel discriminated against. Is it because I'm a half elf with strong muscles? Let's go, bitch. I will arm wrestle you for that drink right now.
Hey.
Okay. I will arm wrestle you for this drink as well. But what do I get if I win? You got to pay double.
Oh, I'm not gonna pay you any more money for a drink. How about this? If you win, then you get to see me streak through the streets with another drink in my hand, and I have to drink like 3 of them at once. I don't know. If you win, wait, you win or I win? What did I say?
You already did the you win.
Maybe while wearing a sash with the name of the tavern on it.
There we go. I have to advertise for you in a really ridiculous way. I don't know. What would I do in a town like this? What does she want from me? I just want a drink with little fiery ice cubes in it.
I don't know.
I'm offended.
Maybe you should take her advice. It was pretty intense, you know. I've got a different biology, you know.
All right.
Oh wow, you back down? What's that about?
Whatever.
You know,
now I'm just offended.
You know, she seemed like weirdly relaxed the last few weeks, and Deneen glances behind Agnetha in paranoia, but to look for a tendril.
Look for attention.
So Glavis is like, I'm curious now, and she gets another one of his drinks and slams it down in front of Agnetha. Says, "Go ahead and drink it."
All right.
Okay, in that
Drink
case,
it.
Deneen immediately starts organizing bets as to whether or not Agnetha will be able to keep it down. With anybody in the bar that wants to bet.
Yeah, let's get this place.
There we go. I know what I could do. I could go up against the best in the bar. Next to my friend here. Kat, she's like, don't do it, Agnetha.
Five gold says I have to cure poison.
Right.
Agnetha's like, why do you think I'm doing this? Magic. All right, so she's going to drink it the same way that Kath does.
Okay,
But
so you
because we
slam
don't
it
have
down.
thaumaturgy, I can't burp it in such an amazing fashion.
So you slam it down. You take a point of fire damage as it burns all the way down,
Worth it.
and it is actually one of the most potent things you actually drink. And you know, not only is it like hot, but it's also got a spice to it. But then you know, chasing all that down is actually a really nice, smooth flavor. So it is really good. But commoners could literally drink themselves to death with this one.
But that doesn't affect me too much because I've got like 200
Yeah.
hit points.
That's what I was saying. It's probably anything to be like.
Kind of
wow,
worth it.
good.
But like, that's all you got? I'm like, ugh, ugh. I like look at Kath. I'm like, don't take another one.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deneen will collect Kath's gold from the bed.
She hands it over.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
You go to steal 5 gold from her pocket, you find a bunch of your honey candy.
Oh, that'd be a good chaser for that drink. Some honey candy. Start selling it.
That's a rare family recipe there. That's our fire or stone fire brew.
Wow. I like it.
Who came up with it?
Oh, my great grandpappy stole it from a fire giant. The recipe.
What?
Ooh, crap.
Nice.
I mean, he had to make it better and fix the things that they messed up, but
Oh
You
yeah,
know-
'cause giants don't have good taste, and this was amazing.
You know, we have some friends who are elementals from the plane of fire. I bet they would love this drink.
Oh, that would be good at the bathhouse.
The bronze ladies.
Yeah. They deserve a good drink at the end of the night after some R&R.
We'll have to come back here with maybe we could have an employee of the month program to come back here every month and have a drink.
Can I buy some? We should buy some.
Oh, travels. It was a
you
month.
could absolutely buy some. You could get a keg of it, a cask of it for
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
And then you
for
just light it
25
before you
gold.
drink it?
For 25 gold, and she'll include the briquettes that go in it.
Nice. Done.
Deneen looks at this cask speculatively and she's just sort of musing to herself, I wonder if that would work better than oil.
Oh, that's brilliant. I'm gonna buy 2 of them then.
Okay, so you can write that down. Also, if you're feeling really adventurous, ladies, I did get some blue lightning in.
Blue lightning.
What's blue lightning?
It's really hard to get. It's really rare.
So is
Is
it
it
like
more
lightning
potent?
but blue?
It is a super potent.
There you
I
go.
gotta stay away from that.
What's it made of?
Blue lightning.
Blue lightning.
Like,
That would be good for our little endeavor. There you go,
She-
Deneen.
from a dragon?
Well,
Like a dragon?
you know, some of the sages have debated this for a long time, that it could be from a dragon, perhaps a blue dragon, or it could be the distilled essence of lightning elementals. I don't really know. This stuff costs a fortune, but whenever I get a chance to get it in, I do. And she pulls out this big clear bottle, and it's got a white liquid in it, except for you can see like little jolts of lightning. In bouncing around in the glass.
Mathematical.
Agnes, I think I need this.
I think I need this in my life.
So it's a gold piece for a shot, but you've never drank 5 shots. Okay.
Like,
She-
I'm a red scratch. I can do this, okay? I can do
So
this.
she lines up 5 glasses and then hits all 5 of them with it. And you're gonna do all 5 at once?
Do I need to make some constitution?
Oh, you absolutely do.
Probably.
So give me
Maybe it would
5.
be a dex save.
Five.
And, like, before I do this, I turn to Haley and say, "You're golden, right? I mean, just in case."
Thumbs up.
Oh no.
So
God.
Glavis says, I've never seen anyone do 5 shots of blue lightning.
No
I'm-
purification of poisons or
Very few people can even afford it. But I don't. If you listen, can you write?
Yeah.
I need you to write me something saying if you die, it's not my fault.
She's not
Oh
going to
sure.
die in
Oh
here.
sure. No problem. And Kath writes it out in all the languages that she speaks.
Perfect.
And then she writes it like, "P.S. As you sent out, I promise." It seemed like a good idea at the time.
So give me 5 DC 15 con saves.
All right, got
Oh.
a 24,
Okay.
a 23.
Chug. Chug.
Oh no, a 9.
Okay.
Oh no! You're losing constitution.
Janine's gonna take a step back in case she like gets kind of sparky.
I rallied a 17. And then a 23.
Okay.
That's my number.
So you get completely hammered and completely lit. What does Kath do in the bar that night?
Kath,
Zero.
you get electrified.
0 inhibitions.
Kath goes like running out to the wharfs
No.
and like
Okay.
brings back a whole bunch of sailors and just starts giving them gold and paying them to like sing and dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That went
Left
different.
and right.
Okay.
Like she's married. she's monogamous. She's a monogamous hedonistic individual.
How does that work?
It's Kat.
That's
it
awesome.
does
It works in the
her
same way that she jumped on top of my character and said, "Why don't you trust us?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then she's like, oh God, what spells do I have prepared? Oh,
Use all of them.
like,
All of them at once.
oh yeah,
Summon Arun into the bar.
okay,
Oh.
that happened.
Oh no! What have we
she, like-
done?
She like misty steps around the room a couple times.
Janine will use minor illusion just to put like party lights and confetti everywhere.
Do I? Where's
More
the one where I
thaumaturgy.
come with me? Like, there's some drunk that gets. There's like some person that gets rowdy and in her face, and she banishes him. She's like, "The sucker!"
Oh.
Like,
He comes back from that banishment and he's found religion and is sworn off drinking.
yeah.
And then Haley starts like talking to him, and then he's just like, mind blown.
So okay, so Kath, you got your thing going on. What are the other three of you doing in the tavern in the meantime?
Dancing on tables,
I'm
having
just
fun.
adding special effects to Cat's party here.
I'm just making sure nobody gets hurt, falls off tables, and or catches anything on fire.
Is Agnetha going to drink any blue lightning?
Yes, I was hoping you would ask me that. I definitely will.
Oh boy.
God, I have
So
Only one though.
okay. So give me one con save.
Here we go, you guys. Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for this. Down. A con. It's 15.
15. Okay, you're good. So at some point, I imagine most of you probably go off to your room. And
Yeah, eventually.
and Kath and Agnetha are doing their thing.
Yeah, we don't need to sleep because we're awesome.
So, Kath, you wake up
Oh,
the next
boy.
day. You have 1 level of exhaustion, and you've taken 5 points of lightning damage.
Whoa.
Agnetha, you've
In
got
other words, you're hungover.
Wow.
you've got 1 point of lightning damage. There's a piece of paper that's been slipped under the door.
You
And-
guys were too loud.
It's a bill for 75 gold pieces, and on it is itemized things that have been broken and destroyed from the brawl that ended the night that you may or may not have a recollection of.
Oh.
Was
That's
that-
awesome.
That must have been you, Kat.
There was definitely at least 1 or 2 sailors that got the wrong idea when you gathered them up, and you
Yes.
had to set them straight.
He's like, I'm a lesbian. What are you doing? Touch me. I just brought you here to dance for me on the tables.
Sing.
and
That was like casting Bane and Bless and Shield of Faith on random people on the fight and like egging them on. Don't take that from him. Get it back. She probably stopped speaking in common and switched to Gnomish at some point. It was just like shouting unintelligibly. She
Pretty
pays,
sure we were jumping off the roof for fun last night, if I can recollect.
Great.
Bad idea.
She pays 100 gold just to make sure there's no hard feelings.
So
There you go. I'll help you on
Sorry
that tab.
for
No
the
worries.
broken things in addition to the more broken things that are gonna happen during our stay. Here's 100 gold.
So, Deneen, Deneen, before any of us leave, she says, "Haley, I'm not gonna disguise you yet. I want to do something."
Okay.
So she disguises herself as like a super fancy pants gold elf and puts on her fancy clothes. Shimmies out the window, goes around to the front of the bar, and then goes up to the bar. Excuse me.
Yeah, madam, what can I do for you?
I've heard that you have some of that lightning drink here.
Blue lightning. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot left.
Blue
Last
lightning,
night
yes.
they nearly cleared us out.
About how much is left in? How much would that cost?
She pulls out the bottle that's familiar to you, and it is it is 3/4 of the way empty.
That's disappointing. Do you have anything else of sufficiently high quality?
Oh yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff. Madam, could I interest you in some wine?
Certainly. I'm actually here on behalf of my employers, the Summer Stars of Summer Star Shipping Company, and I'd like to make an order. And you can bill that. You can bill that COD.
Sure. Where do you want it delivered to, and what is it that you would like?
She gives the house address of the Summer Star estate.
Oh.
And she just starts ordering all kinds of super duper expensive stuff.
Well done, sister.
So she
well
gets
done.
out a piece of paper and starts scratching it all down. All right. Well, this is going to take a little while. We'll get it over there right away.
And you're
Certainly.
and Kath
He's
is
not used to waiting. And you can put the remainder of the blue lightning on there as well. Actually, that'll probably help him be patient. Can I take that along first?
Sure. I mean, the Summer Stars are well known.
Absolutely, of course. As well they should be.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, excellent. My plus 13 deception check. 32?
Yeah, you definitely. She's convinced.
Yeah. How often do I get to use deception?
Wow.
This is thank you so much. And should this go well, we may have more business for you in the future.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Thank you. And off she goes, back into the alley, back up into the window. She undisguises herself and goes, yeah. And she has the blue lightning with her.
Do you guys
Try
get individual
Yeah.
rooms, sharing rooms?
Maybe Deneen will squirrel this away and save it for Kenna.
That's funny.
We probably
know
got
she's
at
gonna
least
want
a
some.
couple rooms.
We got what?
Probably got a couple rooms.
Yeah.
That's gonna be funny to watch.
Deneen would want to bunk up with Haley so she can handle the disguise thing before she shows her face anywhere.
Okay.
So Haley, Deneen comes back with the bottle of blue lightning, and she says, "Don't tell anybody I've got this."
But is that why you wanted to disguise yourself?
Yes. And then she says, "But now let's do your disguise." And so she starts disguising Haley, and as she does so, her own disguise fades away again. She changes out of the super fancy clothes and back into something else, and she's ready to go.
You could have gotten yourself in trouble and gotten caught. I'm glad that you're okay.
I don't get caught. I did this for a living for longer than you've been alive. Don't worry about me.
Well, that's kind of what I do.
Don't worry. All right. She is super happy. Unnecessarily happy.
Like,
Are you gonna try it,
She did
Jen?
something and like the less my character knows, the better. Happy.
So do you gather up everyone? You guys all gather up
Yes.
together?
Janine goes over to Agnetha and Cap's door, and knowing that they're hungover, goes, "Hey!" Bam, bam, bam. Cast thaumaturgy to be a little louder. "Hey, time to wake up!" Bam, bam, bam.
What?
Kill yourself.
So actually,
I didn't
Today.
very good last night.
Agnetha's
Today.
Agnetha's not actually hungover. She's doing all right. Now, Kath, on the other hand, your head is ringing. And you've got one level of exhaustion. So
Hair of the dog. I'm gonna bring you more to drink. Wake up! You need this. We have an adventure at hand. Drink it.
I'm
and
pretty
be
sure
well.
paladins have the ability to cure one condition per round.
You're probably okay. But it's just an excuse to drink again.
I don't think you can cure exhaustion. Exhaustion sucks.
Yeah, not so much. It's just to target a disease or neutralize a poison.
Yeah.
So that's all right. It was worth it.
Totally worth it. Take inspiration.
Nice.
Nice. Well done.
I think greater restoration will do it.
Yeah, that is the only thing that does.
That seems fair. That seems fair. It ought to be like a high level spell.
Nothing should get rid of it. Can we close up this gaping wound? Absolutely. Curing a hangover? Out of the
Fuck
question.
it. Just had to suck that shit up.
You know who can do greater restoration? Fucking druids.
Please don't think that I can do that. I can't.
So what's the plan for today, ladies? What are you guys doing?
I guess.
Does Deneen tell the others what she did?
Sure. So Denise gets everybody together and says, "All right, I don't know if this is going to help us or not, but it entertains me, so that's why I did it."
Well,
So-
I'm just wondering. So I thought maybe you were trying to like draw him here because he's gonna get a receipt from here. So he's gonna
And
send
get angry.
someone here. Gonna send someone is coming here from him. So I thought.
Well,
you were-
it's going to get delivered.
right, but they're gonna say you owe the. What bar are we in?
The Spyglass Inn.
Says like housekeeping as it walks by. She's like, yeah, so the receipt's gonna be from the Spyglass Inn. You don't think he's gonna send someone down here to investigate all like the fraudulent charges?
Possibly.
And we're grabbing him. Wait.
But he won't come himself to do that. I
Oh.
can't imagine that he would.
Okay. Do we need to relocate inns in case he decides to watch this place about why there's money being charged?
You know what? He's probably going to start wanting to find this gold elf that placed the order. Maybe we could use that as bait.
Ah.
I don't know if it would draw him out, though. I wasn't really
Yeah.
thinking about that. I was just kind of trying to be a jerk.
You should
So-
be a jerk like all across town, and that way he won't know like anything. There won't
Oh,
be
I'm up for
pattern.
that.
So just at various times when we're out and scouting and things like that, maybe Fane needs some new clothes.
I would need to undisguise Haley and redisguise myself every time I do it, but I could do that.
Maybe.
What else is expensive? Let's go buy some jewelry.
Let's go buy a ship.
Like some really, oh, yeah. There you go. Bargain for a new ship, like some new carving tools for Alarian.
Mm.
Yeah. Let us think
Yeah,
about this.
But it belatedly occurs to me. The more we do this, probably all these innocent business owners are gonna have problems. Aren't they? I mean, I've done this before as a scam, but it's usually against businesses I don't care about.
Well, we could always just see if this one sort of a thing that you went through invites somebody to come, and then we can follow that person or something.
Well, how much money overall was the stuff that you ordered?
Does Deneen have a receipt?
Yeah, you would. It's like 50 gold pieces worth of stuff, which is a lot of booze.
That's it?
That's a lot of booze.
Hmm.
Well, like if he gets
I
mad
thought
and
this blue
refuses-
lightning was like $5, 5 gold a shot.
The blue lightning is expensive.
It
Yeah.
was 1 gold a shot.
Deneen doesn't mention that. Too bad that blue lightning was gone.
Oh, we're keeping it for secret reasons.
Well, you know, if push comes to shove and he doesn't pay them, we can just give them the gold another way. We'll
Yeah,
be like the
50's
super
not
awesome
much.
scissors.
50's not much, but I'm not sure how to leverage this into something that would help us.
Okay.
What do you think?
I was just wondering.
I mean, we could follow his agent.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, we'd get a face of someone who actually does work for him.
Ooh.
One of his
And then-
laptops.
That's
And
what I'm
then we could,
saying.
like-
we could follow the guy that comes to like figure out what was going on with the transaction.
Ooh.
And then what do we do with that person? Do we like imitate them with disguises? Do we blackmail them?
Well,
We
you
could
know,
get him drunk.
well, maybe like at first, like we just follow them, give ourselves like another piece to the puzzle, and then you have a person you can imitate if you need to.
Okay.
There you go. You have at least an idea of what he looks
You know,
like.
if the person is like one of their accountants or something, they might have their own business. Like,
A
'cause we
business
we
that
already
might-
know where the estate is. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out who investigates this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do we want to do meanwhile? I guess we hang out.
Is there a river nearby?
There's the ocean.
There's an ocean? Ah!
Are you gonna go
Well-
jump in it?
Well, we have to be, at least
Yes.
some of us have to be here to see whenever this agent shows up.
Someone better stay here because it's important. I'll be back.
I'll stay. I'll stay.
Agnetha's already got like a beach umbrella, zinc oxide, bikini, a furry bikini.
Haley, what
Or
was that
nothing.
thing? What was that thing about a ghost at your church?
I don't want to leave if we're waiting for someone. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. It's probably not.
my
It's
God.
not haunted. It's just consecrated. But
Did-
We should still check that out though.
Did she give an estimate for when she would deliver it? Because if so, we know we might have time to go look at the church meanwhile.
Yeah, she said it's going to take a couple days.
Oh,
shit.
well then we got plenty
Oh,
of time.
for a few days. We'll just sit here and wait for a few days.
So the beach and then haunted house with drinks. See if
Okay.
we can find some ghosts. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Beach montage.
Nice.
In which Kath is just like hiding under her hat from the bright sun.
Well, you're not going to get a burn, Kath.
No, but she's hungover.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing better for a hangover than the freezing cold water.
Agnetha?
Agnetha is going to drag you into the ocean
Agnetha, no!
and dunk you.
Kath puts up a fight.
Ooh.
I fight harder.
PvP. PvP.
All for dunking.
We
give
should
me-
roll off and see if I dunk you.
Give
we should
me
see who wins.
athletic checks.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Does exhaustion mean I'm at disadvantage?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
I'm pretty sure you win this one, Agnetha.
Well, you said you put up a fight, so roll your dice.
I did, and I'm pretty sure you win this one.
Oh.
Wait, what did you roll?
Rolled an 8.
Oh, okay, I rolled the 12. I still win. All right. Woo!
That wasn't as much of a struggle as I expected.
I get you, I get you with hellish rebuke, though.
You're like, what in the world?
So you drag Kath into the cold water and dive in with her, getting her soaked. And as you do, fire rains down.
Jesus.
Steam.
You take 10 points of damage.
Two of them. The two.
Oh, damn.
The two of
She's
you.
like, Agatha's just like, it was still worth it.
Yeah.
The two of you rise up in a cloud of steam.
That's awesome.
And
This is why I never go in the water.
never go in the water.
Oh my gosh.
So there's some other people around. There's some, some commoners that seem to be at the beach for the day. Out in the waters, you can see a couple small watercraft, small boats. People fishing. But other than that, it's fairly quiet. It's bright and sunny. It's warm.
Kath will spend some time talking to some of the wharfy people and the urchins around the area just to get a sense for what's going on, and if there's anything shifty going on in the area beyond like the normal level of shifty, like scary shifty, not skeezy shifty, but scary shifty.
Yeah, I mean, so you come away with some gossip and the routine stuff, and they tell you which you figure out which watchmen they say are crooked, the ones that can be bribed.
Nice.
And
that's good to know.
But it's been rather quiet. They also talk about the influx and how things were rough for a while when all the people came in from Rylor. Gryphongaffe got a decent amount, but Drellic would have gotten even more, being a more established city and also not being so close to the frontier as well. So there was a lot of bad. You probably even run into a few people that are actually refugees that have kind of readapted and acclimated to the life here. They also talk about the crime has been up a little bit since the incidents and since the influx from Rylor. Some of the Rylor gangs have surfaced and they're actually meaner and a bit tougher than the gangs that pre-existed in Drellic before them. And even the name of a familiar name pops up. Cyric Giant Blood.
You're muted, dearest.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to unmute myself. I was so excited. Cyroon. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
As a player here in Drellic.
All right. Any chance? I haven't been to Drellic before, so is there any kind of like magic district here, where like super powerful wizards or druids kind of, sell magic stuff?
Well, don't them druid folks, don't they hang out outside of cities?
I guess generally.
But I mean, there is a couple wizards and mages in town, hedge mazes, but I don't know about powerful.
Okay. All right. Thanks. And she gives him some coin.
Ooh, thank you.
Beggar King's got your back.
And he actually does this, like the sign for the Beggar King.
Oh, nice! I love it.
The sign for the Beggar King is like a coin flipping motion and then stick it in your pocket.
Yeah, that works.
So, yeah, I mean, he says that he names he names the wealthier district in town here. Gold Ridge is the district, and he says there's a tower at the northwest end of Gold Ridge, and everyone's heard of Gelon the mage. He's supposed to be very powerful.
Have I heard of him at all?
Yeah, you would have. The name would be familiar to you, and just give me just a general intelligence check.
No boy, you would ask for that, wouldn't you? Okay, just do it. 11.
Okay, so yeah, you've heard of him. He's supposed to be the most powerful mage in town, and he has been here As long as anyone can remember, there's always been stories of Gelon and his tower.
Okay.
So, what do you guys do after the beach?
Ghost hunting.
Go check out the old abandoned burnt down church of Quinthal.
Ghost hunting. I'm afraid of no ghost.
So, do you guys do anything in preparation for going to the church?
Well, real quick, do we just maybe want to see what's there, and then not deal with it right away unless we think we have to? Because my reasoning is that if we either deal with it and we don't tell anyone, or we save it till later, because I don't think it's a good idea for us to get a lot of attention as being like badass, like powerful people who are in the area, because we're trying to like stay under the radar while we're stalking your father-in-law.
Well, once we get him, we're not going to be like hanging out in town taking care of other stuff, I assume.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, save it till closer to when we get him. So maybe like, the day before or a day or two before we decided it's a good time to get him out or something like that. Just something to keep in mind, that if we do take care of it, maybe we don't make a big production of it afterwards if we can avoid it.
Yeah. The thing is, though, this is what seems weird to me. Didn't she say the church elders were the ones trying to rebuild the church? Aren't those the same church elders that were, like, betraying Quinthal?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm really surprised.
So,
you guys talking about
is it really haunted, or is, like, Quinthal defending it?
That could be it,
that's
too.
why I don't think it's what they think it is. There's no way they're building it. If they're building it in her name, they're not building it in her name. It's not possible.
I really wonder. Especially the way that altar was, like, totally not burned.
Yeah, it's not. There's something else going on, or she's letting them do it so she can burn the next one down.
It was for an insurance claim.
Or they're, like I said, I think they're masking. They're probably cultists. No, there's no way.
It's blood cultists all the way down.
Blood cultists.
So, you had taken some items from the altar, Hallie. Do you spend any time checking them out?
I hadn't yet.
Okay.
We had been drunk. We have traveled here. If I were to do that, it would be in private, and I haven't had private, like, time. So, not yet. They're just stuffed in my bag.
Okay. So, all right. That the night before you did have some dreams. Your sleep was a little kind of restless. As it was just full of imagery from symbolism from Quinthal and her teachings and the following, as well as different things from your time at the church. When you wake up, you don't remember a lot. It's very vague.
Okay.
So after all that, I'm not sure if you guys said you're still going to the church or not.
So are we going to check it and then not take care of it? Is that what you're saying, Kat?
No, I'm just saying that if we do take care of it, just be cognizant of the fact that we don't want to draw a lot of attention to ourselves.
Sure.
But if we're not going to...
Says the woman who had a gigantic party last night with a bunch of sailors, probably including sailors from the Summer Star shipping lines.
Maybe we should wait a couple days or something and let her I don't know.
That's different.
Just saying. Oh, okay.
That's different, because that's like fun. That's not renowned
That's fun.
for being like a powerful individual that has like come in town to get shit done. That's just shenanigans.
But if we don't check out the church after we just told Glavis that...
Well, let's go check it out then.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Okay.
I'm not objecting.
We have 6 minutes to check out the church.
I'm just trying to keep us mostly out of trouble.
Yeah, no, I don't think it can't possibly be haunted. It's just the gossip you hear because they can't rebuild on the land. Like, Quinthel's not going to let them rebuild on this land, and she's certainly not going to let them clean it up either. So, of course, they think it's haunted.
Hey, and I kind of looked around when we first got there, and there wasn't any, like, undead or fiends or desecrated things. So,
That you could see.
that I could see. So they were hiding if they were there.
Undead.
There's probably something underneath the church.
The thing with the paladin's ability, it only affects things that you can see. And if there's if they're standing behind like a screen or something, then they might as well be invisible.
Yeah.
But that
It's
being
fine. Let's go.
Everything will be fine.
so, one of the things though, if it is haunted and there is indeed things there, and you take care of them, as long as you guys aren't super noisy about it, from what you gathered, it seems like the efforts to rebuild the church have been given up.
Yeah.
A while ago. So I mean, it's been years at this point.
They
so
won't even notice that it's unhaunted.
That it's unhaunted and that they can rebuild on it.
Exactly.
Well, Quintel still might not let them rebuild on it, but we'll check if there's also something else going on.
Any of her work, it's just more for curiosity.
Yeah.
So
I'm down.
So how are you guys approaching the church? You guys being stealthy? You just strolling up there like?
We should probably wait till later hours of the night.
You're a scholar writing a book.
Right.
There you go. Perfect.
You.
That's a great excuse.
The church is in you.
And we're just your, enthusiastic friends following you along.
Deneen pulls out some pages of The Adventures of Mommy and Friends and pretends she's taking notes.
We could do that. We could all show up as if we're like nerdy,
We'll
like
get journals, and if we don't have journals, let's go pick up some journals. In the
There we go.
Okay, I get real quick addendum to like Kath's drunken shenanigans is that she tried to like invent stuff while she was super drunk, and so she takes with them like some crazy invention, and she's basically saying it's like an EMF detector that they're taking with them to the church to see if there's ghosts there.
Really? Okay. Deneen totally believes this.
Oh yeah, you absolutely have this basically clockwork device. It looks like you basically modified a music box. So,
Okay.
but instead of playing music, it just makes sounds now, though.
Okay.
And it's got like it looks like it might have had like, a ballerina or something before, but the ballerina is gone, and it's like this. It's like an antenna, like silver balls that kind of just like spinning around when you wind it up.
I'm
Okay.
impressed.
Nice.
Wow, I knew paladins could detect ghosts, but that's fancy.
It's very fancy.
Oh yeah, eat shit, Sparks McGee.
But Deneen being super astute and aware of her surroundings at all time,
Which she is.
you realize it's just kind of making the same random noises over and over again.
It eventually just makes like water torture.
So, so do the noises tell you things about the lack of ghosts?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that means there's no ghosts. Okay, great. No ghosts here. Now let's go to the church.
It's completely working.
That's great. She listens very carefully to see if there's any change in the tune, because she still believes this device works, but she's listening for the change in the tune.
As we approach the church, I use thaumaturgy to add whispers to it.
Nice.
Listen.
So
Smell something?
Do you smell something? Agatha farted. That's what you were
right.
smelling.
What do we find at this church?
all right. So actually, there's a soft glow coming from the church that you see.
Ooh.
And as you kind of like enter, what you see moonlight shining in through that stained glass, and the stained glass is the holy symbol, and now in the appearing in the glass that wasn't there before is a robed figure, holding the holy symbol that wasn't there before, and it forms this perfect circle of pool of silver moonlight shining on the ground. The moon is not really shining though outside.
Hey, Haley, I think that might be for you.
What is... Okay, so I'm going to use whatever... What can I use? Insight? Something to, like, check this person out? What are they... Any sort of... road?
Well, right now they're just appearing up in the stained glass. Like, it looks like it looks like it belongs there and was there before, but it was not. You guys would have probably remember seeing it. And you know the stained glass figure is just wearing white robes. The head is kind of like tilted down as if their head is bowed in prayer, bringing the robe kind of over the face, and the holy symbol being held out prominently. So in the way it appears is the figure is kind of back, and the holy symbol is like sticking out prominent. And you know the holy symbol is an open book.
Yeah.
With you know, and right now it appears to be an owl flying off of the pages. Kind of looks like wisdom, but it's not wisdom.
Okay, so let's approach this. Let's approach it's near the altar.
It's the stained glass window over the altar.
Stained glass is over the altar, right? So let's approach the altar.
Okay.
Let's do it quietly, but with respect.
Sneaky.
But
Respectful
not so
stealth.
much that I want to be.
So Agnetha's gonna stay outside.
I mean, not so much that I want to be stealthy. Like
I'll sneak up. I'll sneak up there with you, and I'll help you.
All
be
right.
Sneaky if
I wasn't trying to be
you
too
need
sneaky because I don't want them to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be like, ha ha.
Well, you belong here. If anybody belongs here, it should be you. So go ahead.
So as you approach the altar, and you know you're coming up upon that pool of moonlight, it begins to ripple almost like water, and a hand comes from inside of it, and places itself on the floor, and then another one. You can see white bandages wrapped around the hands, almost like the mummification process, but the bandages are white and clean looking.
Are there crypts underneath this church, Haley? No reason.
There probably is.
I'm using divine sense, by the way. I
Okay.
turned that on.
I turned that on.
All right, so you're definitely sensing undead,
What the fuck is happening in my church?
and so as the arms come out, you can also see like the white robes hanging underneath from the arm, draped from the arms, and then it begins to like hoist itself out, and the hood kind of crests the moonlight, and you see it like almost washes off, like rolls off like water, and underneath the hood you can see glowing blue eyes, as in like pinpoints of blue light are kind of like glowing above a white goatee. It's somewhat long, and you can definitely see the desiccated face where it looks like it's been kind of ravaged by time and dehydration.
Is there evil? Where's Kath? Can Kath
And-
detect evil?
Kath is like, I'm dead.
Haley,
I'm dead.
Haley,
I'm
do you
dead.
know this guy?
No, I don't, and I don't. What am I feeling?
Not
What am I
celestial.
feeling? What am I feeling, David? Am I feeling what? Because I have I can't speak to undead. I don't have anything, so I'm just going off my Quintel/faith stuff. What am I getting? Any sort of
Well, this is definitely odd as this figure fully pulls themselves out and stands before you. From their neck hangs the holy symbol of Quinthal, and it looks up at you expectantly, and the lips begin to move, and words come forth, and that's where we'll end tonight.
no?
We're about to get it.
That's where we'll wrap things up, and we will start there next week. So you better be here next week, Hallie.
I thought we were not. I thought you were cheating on us.
Oh, that's right. The next time we play, the week after that.
The week after.
Yes. Thanks for reminding me. Next week is actually the 40K Warhammer premiere over on Taking 20. Ooh. I was invited to play in that, so I'll be doing that, and I cannot be here too, unfortunately, which makes me sad. And I didn't actually look at the day when I agreed to do it, and I kind of want to try out the 40K system.
Something like that, though. That's legit.
So you guys can watch me play over on Taking 20 next week. You ladies will have the night off, or unless Jen wants to run something, or Megan.
I still think we should do the PvP deathmatch.
Deathmatch, Iron Cage. Yeah. Someone throws a chair, then it's on. But as always, I want to thank you ladies for gaming with me, and thank you everyone for watching. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.